Bluesboyjag here. Yet another 3-string cigar box guitar lesson. It's Straighten It Out by the great Latimore. We're tuned to open G. This is an A string tuned down to G, and a D string tuned normal to D, and a G string tuned normal to G. This song is pretty easy. It only has a couple of chords in it. We're going to start out barring on the first fret with your first finger all the way across all the 3 strings. And we're going to hammer 2 frets up with your third finger. So first finger is all the way across on the 5th fret. Then we go down to the 3rd fret with your third finger, and we're going to hammer from 2 to 3. And then you're going to move up to that 5th fret and back down to the 3rd. So from the top. And believe it or not, we're done. That's the whole song. There's 2 chords. Well, actually, if you want to get technical about it, it's A to A sharp, and then it's up here to B. So we're going to be moving from the 2nd fret up to the 5th fret. So that's going to be G, A, B, C. So C, B, and then you're hammering from A to A sharp. That's the entire song. So the chord progression is pretty easy. You have to keep it nice and mellow and don't speed up. That's the hardest part about a song like this, is people tend to speed up on it. And how about soloing here? So what's the actual key of this song? We're moving back and forth between 2 chords. Well, the key is right here, D. Okay, so is this in a major key or a minor key? Well, technically it's a major key because we're playing a simple 3-string, 3-note major chord. And we're playing the same thing down here on the 3rd fret. So if you play a solo on this, how would you play the solo? And what scale would you play? Well, it's pretty easy. So we're on the 5th fret here barring, so here's your scale. You got 6 notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm just playing on the 5th fret, 7th, 5th, 7th, and 5th, 7th on all 3 strings. So that's your pentatonic. You also have the in-between notes. But that's not the only place you can play. So remember, the first chord is down here on the 3rd fret. So you could actually play a few notes down here in that pentatonic. So what chord was that again? That's G, A, A sharp. So that's your A sharp major. And that's your G, A sharp, B, and C. So what you end up with is, and I'm hammering on, so your bar all the way across, and then you're hammering your bar with that third finger 2 frets up. So now you're on the 7th fret. And I'm going back down to that 5th fret real short there. Now I'm getting a little bit fancier there, Jag. What's happening? Well, I'm just throwing in that 5th fret. So you start out 2nd fret to 3rd fret. And you hit that 5th fret right here. Then you go back to the 2nd, 3rd. Now we go up to the 5th fret. So that's just a little bit more of a progressive, I guess you would say, way of playing it, a little bit more funky. Now notice how I walk back down from there. I started here on the 5th fret, now I go up to the 7th, but then I can also go, play that A note or the A chord again before I go back down. So the notes that we're playing here, or I should say the chords, is G, A sharp, B, and D. G, A, B, C, D. So if this is your scale, don't forget you can also go up next to the next spot here. So, keep it mellow, keep it slow. Little trick here. You may have noticed that as I do this, I'm hammering from my 1st finger to my 3rd finger. Why am I not using my 2nd finger here? Since the fret is the very next fret. So you would think that I use my 1st finger here on the 2nd, and then I hammer my 2nd finger here on the 3rd. Well, you could certainly do that, but it's a little tricky because having that space in between, believe it or not, gives you more strength to push down where that knuckle is. So I always use my 1st. It just feels more natural to me, and I can press down all the notes, whereas on my 2nd finger, the knuckle right here is where the string tends to go, or I guess my finger goes right on top there. This is where it falls, and that makes it hard to press down that 2nd string because you've got my little bend in my finger there. So that's why I do that. I use my 1st finger, and you've probably seen it in my other lessons. I use my 1st finger, and then I use my 3rd finger. I might do that anywhere on the neck. I might do it here, 5th fret, up to 7, or 2 to 3, or 3 to 4. You would think I would use my 1st finger on the low fret, and my 2nd here, and my 3rd here. And you can certainly do that, but for whatever reason, my knuckle tends to get in the way there. And so I sometimes can't press down that string all the way, especially the 3rd string, because the 3rd string is so thin that I can press it, but oftentimes it's not even pressing down on the fret. So I use my first finger and then my third finger. Even though they're consecutive frets, second fret, I use my third finger there, first finger here, and then my third finger. So experiment with that and see how that works out. See if your knuckle gets in the way and doesn't press down that string all the way. If it does, you're good to go. If it doesn't, then just use your first finger and then your third finger instead of your first finger and then your second. All right, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. If you haven't already, check out my website, jagshouse.com, cigar box guitars, just like this one. Click the link, it'll take you right to my store. And we'll see you next time.